Albert Einstein once said, "Everything that be counted does not necessarily count. Everything that counts cannot necessarily be counted." Welcome to this overview of research method that will introduce you to a big picture of qualitative research. Today, we're gonna go dig deeper on the essence of this method that can be applied in real life. First thing first, research is defined as careful consideration of study regarding a particular concern or the problem using scientific methods. This is mostly defined as the gathering data based on observations and verbal communication that uses words, languages, and sentence rather than scale or numbers. The aim of qualitative research focuses on gaining deep understanding someone's point of view and critically analyze every word structures uttered by an individual. In order to vastly explain, there are several types of qualitative research that can be used in collecting data. The first type, called one-on-one interview, conducted through a personal interview that is carried out with one respondent at a time. This purely conversational method and invites opportunity to get details in depth from the respondent. The second one, which is the focus groups, usually includes a limited number of respondents from within your target market. Nowadays, focus groups can be sent online surveys on the various devices, and responses can be collected at the click of a button. Next on the list is the ethnographic research, the most in-depth observational method that studies people in their naturally occurring environment, and it could be anywhere from organization to a city or any remote location. Another type is case study research. This method may look difficult to operate. However, it is used one of the simplest ways to conducting a research, as it involves a deep dive and true understanding of the data collection methods and inferring data. In addition, the fifth type, named record keeping, makes us use of already existing reliable documents and similar sources of information as the data source. This is similar to going to a library. There one can go over books and the other reference material to collect relevant data that can likely be used in the research. And lastly is the process of observation. This process deals with the 5 major sensory organs and their functioning: sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. This doesn't involve measurements or numbers but instead characteristics. Now, let us talk about the methods and examples of qualitative research. Moving on, let us now talk about the methods coordinated with the qualitative research. Here are the following of the most common qualitative methods. The first one in the list is the observations. It is more about recording what you have seen, heard, or encountered in detail-filled notes. Next is interviews, wherein you personally asking people questions in one-on-one conversations. Another is the focus groups, that focuses on asking questions and generating discussion among a group of people. The aim of this method is to find answer to why, what, and how questions. Moreover, we have the survey method that align in distributing questionnaires with open-ended questions. And the last one, which is secondary research. It is performed by collecting existing data in the form of text, images, audio, or video recordings, and etc. So now we come to the next point. Let us go further to the major points regarding qualitative research, which is the qualitative sampling techniques. There are 4 techniques involved in this process. The first technique is the purposive sampling. This is also known as judgmental, selective, or subjective sampling. Researchers use purposive sampling when they want to access a particular subset of people. All of these participants of the study are selected because they fit in a particular profile. For instance, a researcher wants to get an opinions from non-working mothers. They go around an area knocking on doors during the day when children are likely to be at school. Their first question are then about whether there are children and whether the woman has a day job. Second on the list is the convenience sampling. This is a sampling technique that qualitative researchers use to recruit participants who are easily accessible and convenient to the researchers. One example of this would be a teacher who wanted to examine the perceptions of teachers about the policy change and decided to utilize the school within the district he or she worked in the recruitment participants. The following third technique is the snowball sampling. This sampling is carried out by the researcher through identifying one or two people they would like to include in their study, but then relies on those initial participants to help identify additional study participants. To give an example, a particular researcher interested in studying how people with genital herpes cope with their medical condition would be unlikely to find many participants by posting an ads in the newspaper or by announcing the study at the social gathering. In addition, we have what we call quota sampling. This is defined as non-probability sampling method in which researchers create a sample involving individuals that represent a population. They decided and create quotas to that market research samples can be useful in collecting data. To give an idea, for example, a cigarette company wants to find out what age group prefers of what brand of cigarette in a particular city. He or she applies quotas on the age group of 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and 51 and above. From this information, the researcher gauged the smoking trend among the population of the city. To wrap up everything, having said that the conclusion of the qualitative study can at the times be quite detailed. This would depend on the complexity of the study. Finally, note that the qualitative research it becomes especially important to talk about implication as you may not able to draw some or any conclusion with a significant amount of surety. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe to get all your latest content every time we post. Thanks be to God.